closer to rugby joy than other than being a player on that field. I don't think there was someone who was more emotionally invested. But I can. Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. Yeah, that was special. It was, and I suppose we got what we wanted, eh? I think if we had smashed them, it wouldn't have been as sweet, and certainly wouldn't have helped anyone. Exactly, and clearly not a weak All Black side, as everyone was saying. Yeah.
Step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
And boom.
It's happening. It's here.
Look at that.
Do you feel that?
Whew.
Just the flowers. Sorry. Do we just... I smell it.
Is it true, my friend?
It is your feel-good breakfast show. That's what I'm smelling right now.
What day is
the
it,
flowers.
my friend?
Today is the 2nd of September, which means that it is the month which is the equinox in there, which means it's the spring month that it began yesterday. It's great. And there's a spring in your step.
All you needed to do was point people to my shirt, dude.
I noticed.
And then everything would have been explained. Welcome to it. Yes, spring has officially sprung. I hope you had the most amazing weekend. Oh, man, we are going to be embracing the new season. And yes, recapping a little bit of the craziness of the weekend. How are your nerves, dude? How are your...
My nerves are not good. When you watch a match until 17:27, then you leave the match, you don't know what's going on. Then I had to do an event, and then I didn't know what the scores were. And then you know what happened to me? Somebody, right, stops me mid-sentence. I'm on the mic at this event, and she goes... we won. So I'm like, sorry, we what? And she goes, we won. I'm like, oh, my word. But, like, how did we win? Because from picking up the mic in 17:27, I don't know what happened there.
I don't think the Springboks even know how they won. I think it was just pure bravery, fortitude, whatever you want to call it, we did it, and it inspired the nation. For me, those scenes, watching that opening ceremony, just the singing of that national anthem, compare that to 95, insane, absolutely awesome. So that's kind of given us the precipice to jump off from for the most amazing weekend. We're going to embrace absolutely everything, certainly from an energetic level about spring. We've got urban gardening techniques,
love it,
to flower trends, to everything, and I mean absolutely everything in between, even revamping your wardrobe, because one must going into new season.
I see the revamping. Are you not seeing this revamperation here, which is a new word that I made up for this effect? You look fantastic. It's amazing.
Love you, man.
It really is. But in terms of spring, besides your shirt, what's synonymous about, connected to spring for you?
Hustle.
Hustle?
It's hustle, because it's this time of the year. So for us, I've got this, I think, from our industry, kind of when you get, like, enter into the industry, you literally start learning this technique of, like, upping your output at this time of the year. So I'm about the hustle this morning, and I think all of us need a little extra hustle as we move into the final stanza for the year. You, my friend? Because it's not like you need more energy.
It's always this time of year, it's hustle, but I think for me, it's actually just about the space, the home space. I like to give it a bit of a zhuzh, Just a little bit of a this and a there, freshness there, a lick of paint,
like
a spring clean, basically. I think that's why it's so synonymous for me. But I think it's a great time because you set the table for what is going to be the great ramp up to the end of the year. So I hope it feels the same way to you on your Feel Good Breakfast show and in your home as well.
I saw what you did
Did you see that?
Set the table.
That's
It's amazing. Get out of here, please.
Okay,
No
so
more
Kemp,
haikus,
I love you,
please. I love the fact that we're going to spring clean our brains right now. And I want you guys to start thinking along these lines for us as we connect online. Gardens across South Africa are going to be, I think, going into blossom. We've already seen the wildflowers entering the party. We'd love to see yours, though. So please share your garden photos. If you are so proud of what you've created, if you've got the green fingers, even if you don't, we want to see the results. So please send us anything, a video, a picture, maybe an inspirational spring message. You can drop us a voice note. You can use our WhatsApp line. You can use all of our social media platforms. 0634088863 is the line to use if you want to connect, and we want to stay connected for the next 3 hours. But we do have to somehow wrap our heads around this past weekend. I'll try from a sporting perspective, and of course, Carl's got the latest on the news front. Then spring officially springs again.
Thanks a lot, G. Let's take a look at what's blooming in the news world. Starting nationally, the Electoral Commission has received a clean audit report for the 4th consecutive year. Now, last month, the Auditor General audited the institution's 2023-2024 annual financial statements, as well as the financing of political parties. The IEC's Chief Financial Officer, that is Dawn Mbata, says it is necessary for the organization and not just the finance team to understand the importance of submitting financial statements to the Auditor General on time. Mbata says the Chief Electoral Officer, Sai Mamabolo, was instrumental in this Chapter 9 institution's clean audit report. Now, staying in South Africa is mourning the loss of two cherished figures, radio and TV personality Thabiso Sekwane, a 50-year-old poet Jessica Mbangeni, who was 47. Sekwane, formerly married to DJ Fresh, worked with SAFM, Kaya FM, YFM, and Voice of Soweto, leaving a lasting impact on the media and entertainment industry. Mbangeni, who joined the Soweto Gospel Choir in 2002 before pursuing poetry full-time, was celebrated as a beacon of light and wisdom. Both were deeply admired for their contributions and passion. Funeral details will be shared by the families in due course, and our condolences to all involved. Now, on to international news. Despite facing scrutiny over eligibility for Miss South Africa pageant due to her Nigerian father and Mozambican mother, despite being born in Soweto, Chidima Adesina has triumphed elsewhere in Africa. Forced to withdraw from the South African contest, Adesina was crowned Miss Universe Nigeria on Saturday. The 23-year-old law student, who shed tears of joy describing her win as a call for unity. Her participation in Miss Universe Nigeria followed significant media attention, sparked by her finalist position in Miss South Africa. Now, the first day of a campaign to vaccinate 640,000 children against polio in Gaza was successful, the UN said. The campaign, which relies on temporary pauses in fighting between Israeli forces and Hamas, started with a 3-day window on Sunday. The World Health Organization requires at least 90% of children under 10 to be immunized promptly. The initiative follows Gaza's first confirmed polio case in 25 years. UNICEF has delivered 1.3 million vaccine doses, with another 400,000 on the way. Just on Sunday, nearly 2,000 children were vaccinated at one clinic alone. And spring has arrived in the Western Cape, painting the landscape with a vibrant tapestry of Cape wildflowers after months of winter chill. It's the perfect time to embrace the season's beauty as Cape Nature celebrates its 10th annual Access Week from September 21st to 27th, 2024. During this special week, the public is invited to explore 25 provincial nature reserves across the Western Cape for free. Whether you're hiking, bird watching, or simply soaking in the stunning scenery, there's something for everyone. From the West Coast Cederberg to the garden routes Robberg, and of course, each reserve offers a beautiful, unique slice of nature's wonders. Don't miss the opportunity to revel in the season's colourful splendour as we welcome in spring and, of course, tourism to the Western Cape. And that's it for news for now. Another update in 1 hour. Let's take a first look at the sporty action, and here's G.
All right. right, so Carl, I better start here, seeing as half of our viewership, I know, is emotionally invested in this one. Liverpool delivered a commanding 3-0 victory over Man United with 2 goals from Luis Diaz and 1 from Mohamed Salah. Eric Ten Hag's side completely outclassed, conceding twice in the first half due to some costly mistakes from Casemiro. Then Salah's second half goal sealing that win, preserving Liverpool's perfect Premier League record this season under their new head coach Arne Slot. Now let's turn to rugby, and yes, we are still feeling a little nervy. The Springboks staged the most thrilling comeback to defeat the All Blacks 31-27 in their rugby championship clash at Ellis Park. It delivered on every point and more. Trailing by 10 points with 15 minutes left on the clock, the Boks fought back with tries from Kwagga Smith and Grant Williams, securing a dramatic victory in front of 60,000 fans. So despite errors, the Boks' relentless pressure and New Zealand's yellow card at just the right time proved decisive. The Boks and All Blacks now turn their attention to the Cape Town test for round 4 of the Rugby Championship, and that one, of course, Saturday the 7th of September. It's coming up quick. Now let's turn to Formula One. Speaking of which, and Charles Leclerc, he did exactly that, claiming a thrilling victory at the Italian Grand Prix, executing a bold one-stop strategy to secure P1, much to the delight of the Ferrari fans. You can see what it meant to them. Despite early dominance from McLaren's Lando Norris, though, and Oscar Piastri, Leclerc's strategy paid off, holding off Piastri by 2.6 seconds. And Carlos Sainz on aging tyres finished behind the McLarens, but Leclerc's win on Ferrari's home soil, definitely a very memorable triumph. Now let's turn to the Paralympics, and sprinter Mpumelelo Mhlongo, he's captured Team South Africa's first medal at the Paris Paralympic Games, winning gold in the T44 100 meters. The 30-year-old stalwart from Johannesburg clocked a season's best, in fact, of 11.12 seconds, narrowly beating out Cuba's Yamel Luis Vives Suarez by 0.08 seconds, because that's how we do it on the stage. Malaysia's Eddie Barnard, he took bronze. But it looks like the lads have just stepped into Studio Lorenzo and Mr. Robbie Gillette are going to be taking us through all of the rugby action in just a moment, so stick around for that. Right now, brand new week, brand new weather. Let's take stock.
Thanks a lot, G. Before we get on to a bit of a challenge with regard to your morning views, let's take a look at some of the weather news. Now, the National Maritime and Rescue Institute has warned the public to exercise extreme caution along the coast due to dangerous sea conditions caused by the new moon spring tide peaking on Tuesday, which creates exceptionally strong drag currents from recent cold fronts and deep-sea storms. NSRI spokesperson Craig Lamberton advises that robbers and boaters, as well as sailors, bathers, as well as coastal walkers and anglers should be vigilant as the search continues for 2 young men, aged 17 and 20, who went missing while swimming at Victoria Bay in George, with police, divers and a drone now also involved. Now, as I mentioned, morning views, they seem to get better in September, and I mean business. So 063-408-8863. It is a match of the best picture that I can see today. So if you want to send that over via that WhatsApp line, please feel free. I'd love to see how you woke up this morning and that beautiful sunrise, as we get into the temperatures across South Africa and give you an idea of what to wear on this beautiful day. Do you see it's not even a warm-up, eh?
Just take a moment. Yeah, we just bam, whomp, 6th gear, we got it. It is a new season and we want to celebrate it in all its finery. but I kind of feel like before I can move into spring, I've got to get through the match over the weekend. And we're going to do exactly that. Robbie Gillette and Lorenzo Doris are in studio to help us try to understand just what went down, because I actually don't think I can remember about 90% of the match, because my head is still there.
17-27, that's the last time that I peaked at it, and then 31-27. I'm so happy. And then also somebody who just knows how to win. Dricus du Plessis finally arrived home, and we want to really kind of capture that moment and reflect on his arrival and, of course, what's next. That's going to be fantastic.
He did have clothes on, though, when he arrived.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he didn't just walk out with a belt. Would have been cool, though.
Sorry.
Maybe Sia had the belt. Now, we'll see you after this. Stick around.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beauties. I know everyone wants to be here right now. Why? Because we're trying to wrap our heads around the rugby. In an unforgettable clash at Ellis Park, the Springboks staged a pretty dramatic comeback to edge New Zealand 31-27, fueled by 2 late tries. And despite trading by 10 points at one point, the Springboks, their resilience, the precision of one particular young man, fly half Sasha Feinberg and Ngomazulu, despite making mistakes, oh man, proved absolutely decisive, securing a very memorable victory that echoed, I'm going to say, the intensity of last year's World Cup final, but also managed to squeeze in every other World Cup final and moment we've shared with New Zealand. Lorenzo Doris, our Expresso sports producer, and Robbie Gillette, rugby content creator and journo, joins us now to try to understand what we witnessed. Let's start with just the national anthem. Now, I was young enough to really remember 95.
Yes.
And the difference in the way people were able to, and every voice rang out with those beautiful words. How did you guys feel, being slightly different ages, but obviously a lot younger than me, watching that particular moment, Lorenzo?
I think it's absolutely amazing. There's something about the national anthem, and where I was at the moment, people were sitting, and we started shouting, stand up, stand up.
My boy ran to scream, get out, bro, inside.
The amount of pride we have when the national anthem goes off at a rugby match is it's different. There's something different about it. I don't know how to describe it.
And at Ellis Park.
Yeah.
Do you know how I think you can describe it is when you look at actually the footage that comes out afterwards on the cell phones, that sort of thing. So like I was watching, and you know when you're watching somewhere, they sort of turn the commentary off before, and then it's like that transition of sound doesn't really happen. And then I was watching the next day, and then really getting proper goosebumps. So I wish I was. Imagine being there.
Yes,
we'll be on Saturday.
Saturday. We're looking for Saturday. I'm hoping it's going to be a
I have no doubt there's going to be even more emotional investment in this. And I often worry that Rassie is so busy filling our cup that his cup often doesn't maybe get filled.
Yeah.
Hopefully it got filled on Saturday. unbelievable. Let's talk through the actual rugby.
Yes.
How did we do this? Because it kind of felt like 95 in terms of how close it was going to be. Where do we begin to unpack this one? Let's start with the strength of the All Blacks to start with.
Let me just go back to what happened on Friday. I called it 34-27, so I'm a bit angry at Sasha for not getting that last-minute penalty, and I'm standing with the friends, and they're like,
That's fine,
you still got it wrong.
fine.
You still got it wrong. I was like, no, I got it right. I called it. 27 is where they're ending off, and we're just going to take it a little bit
Claim
further.
it, buddy, claim it.
The All Blacks were quite intense in that first, 5 to 10
Fast,
minutes.
really fast.
They played their game. They were like, we're coming out, we're going to dictate, we're going to show you that you need to play catch up with us. And then we were just absorbing. Our defense was putrid, if I can put it like that. I wish it was a little bit different, though. And that's where the likes of Willie comes in with a settled head. And Fussy is still learning the lay of the land.
He still had his moments, though. He still had some very big defensive moments,
Not going to take that away. But I think that the All Blacks came with an intensity, with a different level. If you saw Scott Barrett coming out, looking at the crowd, he was just laughing. He was smiling, he was smirking, and D-Mac had an extra smirk on his face every time he took a kick. It was a different intensity. This was World Cup final intensity.
Oh, for sure.
Also on that fast start, do you not think that's probably the thing that messed them up a little bit?
Yeah.
That last 20 minutes, it's altitude. A lot of those guys haven't played in South Africa. I know we speak a lot about altitude, but I think until you actually played in it, it's a different thing. And then said last, you feel fine until 60, and then all of a sudden you're like,
oh my word.
Grant
Okay,
Williams is on,
we've
Smith
put a
is
new
on.
battery in,
Exactly,
Yes. I think it was the DJ dropping the beat before the haka was finished to start some, I think. I don't know who that was,
but that one out.
We will get there, man, but I'm here for that kind of shenanigan. I love it. So was there a turning point, or was it kind of en masse a number of smaller moments building up to that? Can we attribute to something someone did wrong or someone did right, i.e. Sash?
I think we made a lot of mistakes. Like they scored off our mistakes as well. But honestly, I believe it was that bomb squad. Like, they came on. If you look at the two guys who scored, Kwagga Smith, he also made quite a few important turnovers, and then Grant Williams bringing that extra bit of when that game's broken down, and New Zealand also want to play, but they're tired, but Grant Williams has fresh legs. I really believe it was that. So, and also, I think, I don't know, we speak about the Springboks in their sort of fight. We refuse to be beaten. Do you not think, like...
We don't know how anymore, I think. And that's a beautiful culture to have.
And if you think back to the guys like Irvin, Jesse, Damien, 2015, when the All Blacks were coming back against us and beating us. Like, those guys have that emotional baggage. I think for them to get that win and do it against them, man, like, what a special
And to be tested to that degree, I kind of felt like they might have been tested more than the World Cup. I'm just saying. It just felt like that. It felt titanic.
No, it's crazy that even when a Springbok team is playing this bad to some people out there, myself included, we were still able to beat the All Blacks. We haven't seen this in years. And it's something we need to cherish as South Africans because it's something that's going to come to an end.
Because our kids won't understand as well. Our kids won't understand. They think the Springboks have just always been leagues ahead of everyone else.
Like being a United fan, you know?
How important was it?
Don't bring up United. Sorry. Don't bring up Manchester United.
I'm so happy United played after Spurs. I'm like, great. How important was it for Grant, for Sasha, for these players to make mistakes and then bounce back to show that resilience, to be able to get the mental game in this particular kind of cauldron, if you will? It doesn't get more tense than it. How important was that test?
Like Leighton said on Friday, you've got 2 test debuts that you make. One for the Springboks and one against the All Blacks. And Sasha was thrown in a few weeks ago. For 22 years old, he looks like someone that's been playing 30, 40 tests already. I'm looking at some of the kicks, some of the plays that he makes, the vision he has,
spatial awareness.
And then, like I said before, I love the fact that Jasper Wiese is back in the team.
And dominance as well.
Dominant as well.
Yeah, it was like a choice, not by default.
It looks like he hasn't been suspended in any way or form. He's been playing week in, week out. But this is where Kwagga comes in. He is the most impactful impact player in the world at
100%.
I am calling it. through and through.
And worth it
he
in
needs
points
to stay there.
as well, which
Yep.
for a coach to be able to bring in an impact Lucy like that, who's worth 14 points in every
There you
game
go.
just about, is quite a powerful thing.
And Grant Williams.
And Grant Williams. And shame, after making that initial fumble and a few little things like a kid, like on Christmas morning, you can understand the enthusiasm, but he made good. In fact, every young player certainly put their hand up. And I'm going to say, not that he's listening to me right now, but to Scotty Robinson, so many positives to take out of this as well from where the All Blacks are in their rebuilding phase. All of it painting a beautiful picture for Cape Town on the 7th, but we're going to save it this for the rest of this week. An incredible moment for the Springboks, for those players who came through the fire in the World Cup final to be able to prove emphatically once and for all who the best in the land is. Well, there it is, 31-27. Oh, my heart. My heart.
So good. This weekend's going to be too good.
Oh, too much.
Now, you know, those legends were talking about that moment over there. You know, there was another moment that I feel like it felt the same. Dricus du Plessis successfully defending his UFC middleweight title by submitting Israel Adesanya. That was in the 4th round of their fight in Perth, Australia. Now, despite being under pressure, du Plessis executed a perfect counter-strike, leading to a near, or should I say a choke, of course. And that was fantastic against Adesanya, retaining his title. Now, with Springbok captain Siya Kolisi and vice-captain Ian Etzemeth present, du Plessis fulfilled his mission, of course. And now he returns home as a victorious champion after his successful title defense, and we needed to be there to give you the action.
This is David Acosta reporting for Expresso, your feel-good breakfast show. And for many South Africans, this is a feel-good day because we are welcoming back our national treasure, our Mzansi pride, the UFC middleweight champion. And there are a lot of people here who are very excited to welcome Dricus du Plessis. Are we excited, everybody? So any moment now, we'll be welcoming Dricus. And as he always says, Hulle weet nie wat ons weet nie. Dricus! I want to take you back to that moment when you were walking out with Siya and Eben as well. The South African national anthem is playing. How are you feeling at that moment?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really get emotional, but you know, walking out like that, you have to get emotional about that moment. It was absolutely incredible.
Yeah. And where to from now? What about, you know, your UFC journey? Where to from now?
No, I'm going home. Mom, Dad, I miss my dog.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go relax, and that's what's next for me, and then we'll decide what happens after that.
Okay. And how does it feel now knowing that the whole of South Africa is proud of you, proud of your success?
Yeah, it feels absolutely incredible. I mean, just to be here at this time and see these people coming out, all the fans, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And you know, just all the love I felt leading up to the fight, during the fight week, and now after the fight. It's been, I mean, it's what dreams are made of. It was absolutely unbelievable.
Fantastic. Expresso is proud of you. The whole of South Africa is proud of you. Let's make some noise for Dricus, everybody. All right, Expresso family, there you have it. Dricus just landed. We just had a chat with him. He's very excited to be back home. The people came out in their numbers just to welcome our champion. He did make history in January, and of course, he defended his title once again. And as South Africans, we ought to be proud of this hero, and he did receive a hero's welcome.
What a champion returning home. And I can tell you, we've got more champions in studio. A little later, we got a beautiful vegetable bowl as well as a fruit smoothie to show you. And then this super talent in the fitness industry is going to be here to make sure that Graham goes through his paces. That man is going to squat so much. It's going to be fantastic. You will see him sweat. In fact, let's start squatting, Carly.
Let's go.
All right, that's it. Carl and Carly, squatting. Love it. Look at that. Can you stay there, please? There we go. I'm not done yet.
There are stories of creators, and we're inspired by them all. We invite you to write your story with us. Your story matters. ABSA.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beauties. Time to get up and moving. Yes, a new season has begun, and it's an opportunity for us to maybe reimagine ourselves. Spring is in the air, and it's time to shape up for the season. I love it. GarliFit is the perfect custodian to carry us through this part of our journey, to help us tone the quads and calves, getting us ready to rock those beautiful floral dresses, because I do like a floral dress, okay? Maybe some short shorts, they will come out on the show. We just want confidence, and in order to get that, we need to move. So we're gonna have a whole lot of fun. GarliFit,
Yes.
we love you, girl. Thank you so much for being here. I love this. So much of my rebuilding my body is involved activating the glutes,
100%.
getting this base right.
Yeah.
And if you can get the big muscles moving, the engine room, it's amazing how much better your body works.
Yes.
Never forget leg day, baby.
And the calves.
Okay, and the calves. Because and some people say you either have them or you don't.
True.
You can grow your calves, I promise you. Okay, so what have you got for
Okay,
us?
so we're first going to start, obviously, with the warm-up. So you're going to open up your legs. We're going to go into some nice side lunges. So you're going to go to the side for me. Nice. And other side. Nice. I like that you're looking so serious while you're doing it.
Well, this is the thing, is, you know, it's that mind-body connection. If you don't have a lot of time to train, train effectively.
Perfect.
Make sure that the body and the mind are connected with what you're doing. It's great to have a song on. It's great to kind of lose yourself, but you do need to
come
foster
together
that.
again.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to lift up your legs, one by one, and the other leg. Nice. And again. Nice. And now we're just going to stretch out those hamstrings. So you're going to bring the one heel forward and push through, right around, and other leg.
Right around.
Nice.
Nice, I like that.
Can you feel the hamstring stretch?
I like your stretches are quite dynamic. It's
Yes,
not just a static.
mobility. Mobility stretches are always the best. Perfect. And again for me.
Nice.
And one more. Take it right around. Perfect. So you're a little bit warmed up?
I like it.
Cool.
Oh, you know, on the show, we always kind of warmed up, but you've got to do it. Don't skip that part of the process.
Of
You really
course,
need
of
to get your
course.
tendons ready. Cool.
Yes, so we're going to start off with squats. So squat and a calf raise. So we're going to go into a squat, calf raise, and take it down again. Perfect. So you want to maybe do 15 reps, 20 reps, or even 12 reps, depending on your fitness level. So what would you do, 15?
Until I can't, I must say, I'm being as old as I am, you kind of grade it on where you're at and kind of what feels like you're pushing.
Yes.
But
Nice.
what I like about this kind of approach is even if you've got 15, 20 minutes, you can move and you can be effective.
Okay, so now we're going to go into squat pulses. You're going to take it down into a nice squat. Take it down. Perfect. And now you're just going to pulse it down. Okay, so that should obviously work the quads 100%. Maybe a little bit of those hamstrings and glutes. You can make it a little bit harder if you want to maybe put a band, want to add some weights.
If you want to, it's a choice.
A little bit lower. There you go.
You're going to be like that the whole time, okay?
Okay.
Sure, it makes a difference.
Yeah,
It makes a massive difference.
So now we're going to go into a static lunge. You're going to take the right leg back for me. Okay, you can either have your hands in front of your chest, on the side of your hips. And you're going to take it down and come up. And you want to also make sure that you're engaging the core, so you're not pushing forward, not back. So you're taking it down and up. Perfect. You seem like you train a lot, though.
It's been a lot of rehab.
Okay.
But now understanding the power in the smaller, stronger movements.
Yes.
In activating the glutes.
You don't
looking
have to
after.
jump around.
Well, you can't. You've got to kind of temper your expectations.
Yeah.
But I often think going through the operation and kind of having to rebuild my body has been the best gift I've been given. To go back to the fundamentals and start from
It's all
there.
about the basics. You don't have to complicate your workout.
You know, I've got to ask, because now you're rocking, well, potentially cover girl glory in women's health. We often lean on you when it comes to kind of Women's Month and getting other women inspired and getting them moving and highlighting bravery. And it's something I've got to ask, is this something you've defined for yourself? Do you wake up and think, okay, this is what I'm going to do to be brave, to be that person, to inspire, or is it just who you are?
not actually it's 100%. Okay, maybe now it is who I am, but I think with the experiences and just putting yourself out there, being even here, for me is a big opportunity, and putting myself out there because I was a very shy person back then when I was younger, but I like with experiences and just putting yourself out there just makes you more confident, and you can do whatever you set your mind to.
Clearly. You see, do you like how I asked her a really clever, well-timed question just to ease us off?
Out of breath.
Just very quickly, how
After
do we vote for you?
Okay, so you can either go onto the Women's Health website. It's Carly Swartz. You just have to put your email in, submit your vote as many times as you want.
As many times as you can, I think is what you meant to say.
50, 60 times a day.
I love it. Look at those guns, okay? I like to think those guns, like 0.1% of them were made in your feel-good breakfast.